and it went perfectly fine. I'm not like rating them in front of people or anything. So you're just going to read them nice and loud. Okay? Yeah, if you did extra credit, you can share that too. I have to share my screen though. Hold on, friends at home. What's up? There only was one extra credit thing. Nope. Just one. All right. Here's Mrs. Kneifel. I'm scrolling with my eyes closed, and we landed on Abrielle. Hey, I'm going to zoom in. That way we can see. It is not that big of a deal. You're literally just talking about a book. That's nothing crazy. Oh, wait, I need to zoom. Oh, I need to share my screen. I'm sorry, friends at home. My screen is sharing and then unsharing and then sharing and unsharing. All right, Abrielle has the floor, which means your voice is off. Miss Abrielle, tell us what book you chose. That looks nice. I like the color choices. And then what was your second book? You don't want to add anything else? Okay. She did Island Book 3. Hey, friends. The only one that has permission to talk right now is Abrielle. And then her author, she chose. Who'd you choose? Sharon Creech. Fun fact, a bunch of people chose Sharon Creech in my classroom too, and like everyone used this same picture, oddly enough. So must be a popular picture. Oh, maybe that's why. All right. Thank you, Miss Abrielle. All right. Next one. Mia. All right, let me share my screen so our friends at home can see. I really like that you use two different covers, and I also like that you put like her mom left to like supposedly find herself. I like that you added that little part in there. So that was a good summary. Thank you very much. And Mia did the extra credit as well. And what book did you choose for the extra credit? I heard you look at and it's about this girl named Georgina. Her mom and her brother Sophie moved out of their apartment to live in a car. And Georgina was really embarrassed in front of her friends. And what they did was different. Their sister went to earn enough money. Oh wow. Hey, that would be a, you know, if you're in my reading RTI, we talked about those moments where sometimes you just do what you got to do. So in this book, this girl literally felt like she didn't have another choice but to make money stealing a dog. I think that I like the yellow with like the orange yellow cover. That's a good job. And then your author, Miss Mia. December 24th, 1991. And he didn't have any kids, but he had an imaginary daughter.
Oh.
Something. And he was married to a common farmer, but passed away. And about a year later,
Look at those fun facts. I just did not know about him.
there's a couple of popular.
I love the first part.
Mia's still talking.
Books that he wrote, The Cat in the Hat, Remain Hand, and Happy Birthday for Christmas, but I wrote 10 of them. And I have a couple pictures of Ben and books he wrote, characters he wrote.
Fabulous job. I know every single one of us in here has definitely heard a book by Dr. Seuss before. I think you did a really good job on all three of yours. Thank you for sharing, Mia. All right, next one. Dylan.
No. Yes. Oh, Rod, villagers. Oh, yeah.
All right, Mr. Dylan, you may begin whenever you are ready.
The book I chose is Thurs. It has two parts of it. One is about Bethany and Kyle, and one is about Owen. Bethany is able to jump into books, but one day she was caught jumping into books by Owen, and he promised to keep it quiet if he jumped into his favorite book series. Owen got trapped in that book series, though. It's the Kyle Mills book series. It's not a real book. And then he learns about the dark ending. Meanwhile, with Bethany, she and Kyle, the main characters of the books, that book series, now have to beat the magic. Read the book to find out more.
That sounds interesting. I really like how there's... Oh, we're not done. We don't clap till we're all done. Otherwise, we'll be clapping forever. I really like how you separated it into two colors and put one person on the other side. Like, that's a very creative idea. Good job. All right. He decided to do extra credit. Here is his extra credit.
This book is called Story Worlds Apart. Fictional world. The fictional world was successfully separated from the real world. Bethany's father has been destroyed, and nobody is destroying the fictional world.
Oh.
The real world. The real world. The real world was separated from the fictional world. Everyone has lost their imaginations. Owen, Bethany, and Kara are stuck in the future where fictional books are banned. Future Owen is in the hospital. Read the book to find out more.
Snap. Both of those books sound very interesting. And he has an author. Well, all of you have an author. But anyways, your author, Mr. Dylan.
James Riley. James Riley constantly moves. He was born in Connecticut. He made the best-selling series. James is not a fictional character called Nobody. He declared himself nobody.
Interesting.
He made a lot of books. These are some. Story Thieves, Worlds Apart. Story Thieves, Pick the Plots. Story Thieves, Stolen Captains. Story Thieves, Half Upon a Time. Twice Upon a Time. Once Upon the End. The Revenge of Magic. The Revenge of Magic, The Last Dragon. The Revenge of Magic, The Future King. The Revenge of Magic, The Timeless One. And The Revenge of Magic, The Chosen.
I don't think I've ever read a book by him, but you did a very good job, Dylan. Thank you for sharing with such enthusiasm. I appreciate it. Those books definitely look good. Thank you. Jacqueline, you are next, my love.
Let's see the secrets.
Make sure you're talking nice and loud. All right, Miss Jacqueline. Oh, wait. Right. I got to click on the right one. You are ready or you are free to go whenever you would like. Ooh, I like that. Magic Wonder. The book has it all. Thank you. Fabulous. All right. Miss Jacqueline did extra credit as well. Look, you guys did a ton of extra credit compared to my class, so go all you. And you may begin, ma'am. Fabulous. I didn't realize she had 54 books. I should invest. I have some of her books, but I should get more for my bookshelves at school. All right, and she did her author on Mary Pope Osborne, who she kind of just talked about a little bit. You may begin. All right, so she writes books from like second grade level up to fifth grade level. Of course, even if you're older, you can still enjoy a book that is a lower level. Thank you very, very much. That was a good job. All right, next on our list, Jaden.
Why me?
Mm.
I thought you said
All right, Mr. Jaden, nice and loud so people can hear.
I did Resistance, and it's about a Jewish girl during World War II.
Mm.
When she was fighting with the resistance and fighting back against the Germans because Hitler was capturing so many innocent Jews, and but she had Polish looks, so she was able to go undercover into enemy lines because she had Polish looks.
Ooh, that sounds very interesting.
During World War II. I think there may be a movie on it.
That sounds interesting. All right. And then your author is the person who wrote this book, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Tell us about this author.
Jeffrey A. Nielsen was born in northern Utah and 49 years old. He's written a lot of books, and she completed her first full manuscript on picking locks when she was age 11.
So that would be like her first, like, basically like book, kind of. She was like 11. So that's impressive. And she's even won an award. Thank you. Those look really, really nice. Good job. All right. Corgan.
Oh no, she's crying inside. I've been crying inside.
It's okay. Okay.
Wimpy diarrhea.
Mrs. Siddick's class, if you can hear my voice, put your hands on top of your head. Your job is not to criticize any poster. Your job is to listen. Thank you. You want to add anything else or no?
Yeah, I can't read it.
Oh, I'll read it for you because it's still a little bit far away. So it says, the book starts when Greg and Roger get grounded so they couldn't go on vacation with their parents and Manny. So they left them behind to watch the house and have no parties. Little did they know, Roderick planned to have a party that night. One of Roderick's friends drew Roderick's rules on the door. So now Greg and Roderick have 5 minutes to replace the door. What are they going to do? That's a good one. Thank you. And I like you put a picture of the book cover. Fancy. All right, and your second book, you did extra credit. So what was your second book, ma'am? If you guys can see, she had little moons on her O's. And then that's probably too small for her to read too. Corgan's in the back if you're at home wondering why Corgan's not reading it. It says, the book starts when Sal's mother goes to Lewiston, Idaho. After that, her dad meets Mrs. Cadaver, who was sitting next to Sal's. Look, you're totally giving away so much of this. Girlfriend, you gave away a lot of this. I'm going to stop reading now because you gave away too much in your thing. I know, but maybe there's someone in the world that hasn't read it yet. All right. We're moving on to the author. Good job, though, Corgan. Go. Jeff Kenny.
He's 50 years old. He's writing about
Fancy. A lot of people have read books by him for sure. A lot of people have read books by him. My reading RTI, we started reading books. We started one of his books at the beginning of the year. So, yeah. Thank you, Corgan. All right, I'm going to let Isaac go because he's on here live with us. So, Isaac, once I get your sharing, you may begin talking. Once I get things shared. Isaac, you may begin talking whenever you are ready. We're waiting a second.
The main character of the story is Ishmael, and he went on a boat with a captain named Captain Ahab. Captain Ahab risked his crew in order to hunt Moby Dick because when Ahab was a member, he broke his right leg and no and now he wants to hunt Moby Dick and end him. Queequeg is a friend of Ishmael, and Queequeg is a funny guy, and he is religious. The reading level of this book is 10.3, and the point is it is 42.
Yeah, it's a very long book. It's kind of, I'm pretty sure it's written in like Old English, and it's definitely a harder book to read. So go, Isaac, for reading that. All right, Isaac, would you like to share your author really quick?
One of the best poet of the American Renaissance period. He was born in August 1, 1819, and at the age of 72 years old is when he died. Also, he is well known for the book he made named Moby Dick and Typee. The children of Herman Melville are Elizabeth Melville, Stanwix Melville, Malcolm Melville, and Francis Melville.
Thank you, Isaac, for sharing. So, like Mrs. Kneifel has never personally read Moby Dick because it's just probably too long for Mrs. Kneifel. But so he was like a writer during the American Renaissance period. So like he died before like the 1900s. So long time ago, but people still read this book today. So thank you, Isaac, for choosing him as your author. That is fun stuff to learn. All right, Angelina, you're on here, so let's do yours. Ooh. All right, wait, let me share. Sorry. Connor. Angelina, you are free to share whenever you are ready, my love.
Okay, so for my book, I chose Boy Crazy Stacy by Gail Galligan. The AI level is a 4.2. Stacy and Marianne are going on the trip with the Pikes. They enjoy the trip, but they are also getting paid to watch the kids every day while on the trip. They have fun. Stacy thinks the lifeguard is cute, but he kisses another girl. Stacy is sad and she gets over it. She goes on another date with a different guy. They hit it off with a great start and a great ending. They have fun and they go back and tell everyone how much fun they had.
Fun. So yeah, this is one of the Babysitter Club books, and I know there's a. Hey, we're
There's
not
a series.
Yeah, it's a series. So I think I've read a book or two in this series. And then your author.
Fun fact about that book also, these books are based off of Raina Telmore. I can't pronounce her last name, but yeah. Gail Galligan. Gail doesn't have any kids. She is an awesome writer. She is one of the people I read the most, for real, for real. She is a nice person as far as I can tell from her interviews. Some books she wrote was Boy Crazy Stacy, Claudia and the New Girl, Christie's Big Day, Logan Likes Mary Ann, and Dawn in the Impossible 3.
Fabulous. I like your colors. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
All right. Who else is on virtually? Miss Jessica, would you like to go while you're on? What's up? Very, very quickly. And I expect you to do the right thing, sir. Oh, wait, I have to share. Look, I'm just pretending like you can talk. Connor, or Corgan and Connor, both of you. All right, Miss Jessica, whenever it actually shares, you may go.
Yeah, I put down the City of Ember, which most of us all read the entire book, but yeah, it's about a girl named Lena who is a 12-year-old who lives in the City of Ember. She and her friend Dune have to find a way to get out of there and out to the outside world. So you have to use clues from the builders of the city to get out.
Huh. I have never read City of Ember. I know a lot, like Mrs. Jones's RTI read it. I know I always hear good things about it. I might have to invest in that over summer. Oh, it's a series of books. Okay. Oh, look, there's the picture. All right, Jessica, you may share about your author, who we just said had a series, and there's a picture. So way to put that picture on there.
Jean is a 70-year-old woman. She went to Scripps College, and yeah, there's been books she released in like the 80s, like 1981.
Nice.
And she's written a lot of science fiction novels. And then yeah, she put down the Ember series, and she made a bunch of other books like Car Trouble, Earth House, and a bunch of others.
Fancy. Well, thank you for sharing, Jessica. I feel like I should invest in the City of Ember. See, look, you guys are giving me like some good ideas on what Mrs. Kneifel should read over the summer. Oh, I feel like maybe, I don't know, I might have them too, and I just don't, like in my classroom. I have a lot of books and I don't even realize it. I have like, so many books. All right, Miss Eden, since you are on here, you can go. Then Mrs. Sittig's class, we will go back to you. Oh, Restar, that's like my favorite. All right, Eden, you are free to talk whenever you would like to, ma'am.
The author of Restar is Gordon Corman. The reading level is 5.1. Chase fell off the roof of his house and lost his memory. He forgets who he is. He has friends that try to help him remember.
Restart. If you guys haven't read Restart, you should put that on your summer reading list. Super good. All right, and you may share about your author. She chose Gordon Corman, who wrote Restart, and he has written so many books. I recommend almost all his books that I have read. I really love them. You may go, Miss Eden.
Gordon Corman is 57 years old. He wrote more than 80 books. Gordon Corman went to college at New York University. He has 3 children and a wife. Gordon has been writing since 1975. Some of the books he wrote are Hideout, Ungifted, Swindle, Slacker, Mastermind, Scold, and Restart.
Thank you, Eden. Good job. Eden, I like that yours is simple. It's easy to read. Definitely a good job. But for real, any Gordon Corman book, Mrs. Kneifel always recommends. So if you're looking for a book to read this summer, you might want to go to your library and read one of those. All right. We are heading back to Mrs. Siddig's Google Classroom now. And next up is Caden.
You'll never get me.
Mr. Caden, you are free to speak when oh wait, I have to share. Sorry, virtual friends. Sorry. All right, now.
It's about a class that gets a class pet, and it was all fine until the class pet was missing, and it's somewhere around the school, and then bad things start to happen once this one kid finds the hamster, and he has to try to keep it from the other kids because they want to put it back in the cage. This one kid that wants to punish the hamster because it was being bad, and it's his bully, and him and I forgot his name, but they were in a fight, and the hamster chewed up a rope, and all of the space stuff fell on top of him, so he wants to get revenge. The level is 425.
Thank you for sharing. And your author, sir?
My author is Jeff Kennedy. The author is famous book. The author is the famous book. The author of the famous book series Diary of a Wimpy. Jeff Kennedy is 50 years old, born in February 19th, from November 9th. He's been writing for 24 years. Jeff went to the University of Maryland.
Thank you. Good job. This Hamstersaurus Rex sounds like an interesting book. Sounds fun. Miss Abigail, you are going to go next. Once I share, don't go yet. Oh, wait, no. This one. All right, we have another City of Ember. All right, Miss Abigail, you may go whenever you are ready. Which book is this in the series? Okay, I just was curious for myself. All right, and your second book, Abigail? Someone else picked Indian in the cover, this is another good book for sure. It's a movie also. And your author, I really like your colors with this, Miss Abigail. chrysanthemum. And we've all definitely read some of his books before. Oh, good job. Like your color scheme on the Dr. Seuss. Next up is Amia. Boys and girls, it's Amia's turn to speak. What? Don't want to speak? Okay. She did, is it El Defo? Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
By C.C. Bell. The reading level is 2.7. It's about a deaf girl, so that means like you can't hear if you don't know what that means. And thinking she has superpowers. If someone has her microphone attached to the hearing aid, then she can hear them almost everywhere. She also needs glasses, and she's the smartest kid in her class, but not the most like physically able. So then here is a nice big picture of here. Then this is Play Lewis Play, which is what we just read the other day. We just read a shorter version of it. It says Lewis is a man who loves to play his horn. He gets a new horn and puts it in the dresser, and he tells the story of his horn. And there would be a picture. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Next is Ethan. All right, Mr. Ethan, you are free to speak whenever you are ready. Can you at least tell me you can hear my voice. Put your hands on top of your head. Mrs. Siddick's class. First off, Connor, get your feet off the desk. Second of all, can you at least say the title? I can see how it'd be hard for you to read it, then I'll read what you wrote. He did the Hunger Games, which are also a movie, if you didn't know. Mrs. Kneifel does have all three, which you can't borrow now because the school year's almost over, but you could borrow them next year. It says North America has fallen to ruins and the capital's been taken over. The continent has been separated into 12 districts. The 13th is being destroyed. Now 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen has been chosen to fight in a battle to the death. The Hunger Games, with her family's life on the line and little hope will she be able to survive. That's a really good intro. These are good books. They are worth a lot. Like the first one is worth at 15 points. So, and then you did Suzanne Collins, who is the author of The Hunger Games. And once again, he can't read from where he's sitting. So, hey, note to self, maybe next time you need to pick different colors. Suzanne Collins is an American writer who in 2013 wrote her first of 5 book series, The Underland Chronicles, and in 2008 she published the first Hunger Game book. She was considered a successful as a writer, and she worked as staffer for several Nickelodeon shows. Then she made the Emmy-nominated hit Clarissa, Explains It All, and the Mystery Files of Shelby Lou, and she's the head writer of Clifford's Puppy Days. Look at that. So not only does she write books, she also casts people for TV shows and writes TV things. So I did not know that. Thank you. All right, next we have Olivia. Connor. Yeah, you don't have to because it's awfully long. You can just say the parts you would like.
Her dad and her grandparents don't know that, so they're kind of confused on why she has like a date that she wants to be there by. And then while she's in the car, she
All right, thank you. And I like your little moons at the top. And your next one, she did the extra credit.
California Wildfires, 2018. It's written by Lauren Hart. He's a Facebook author. I don't know how to say your last name. It's radio experiment 5, and it's about avoiding Johnson's mom, which is a and they're probably not like Hollywood at first because they're really different. Hollywood outdoors and stuff. Josh would rather either play basketball or play video games. And Josh's dad has to go to jail because he stole money from the bank, which wasn't true. So Josh is upset and he runs out into the forest. Holly's got falls after them and they go their way back, but a tree falls down and blocks their way, and then a mountain lion comes out of nowhere. But it's just trying to get away and they fall over the river, and then they zip line, use a zip line, and then they jump quicker. You want to know more? You have to read the book.
Man, what a crisis. That sounds really good. And your author, Gordon Corman.
He is 57 years old and started writing when he was in the 7th grade, when she was only 12 years old. His first book was called This Can Be Happening. Donald Paul. He was 15 years old. He went to college at Vancouver in their 1980s. Gordon is a Canadian author who wrote many amazing books such as Art Island, Four Stories, Link, 39 books.
Yes, he definitely is a good author. Thank you. You did a really good job. Yeah, he did write the Island books. All right, we have time for one more. Blake, you are going to go. And then we'll finish everyone tomorrow. All right, we don't have a lot of time, Mr. Blake. And then your other book. I have not read either of these Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. I've only read a few. I should read more. And then your author, Mr. Blake. That is a good thing to notice. Just because you start something doesn't mean it happens right away. Jaden, his first book didn't get published until 2007, even though he started writing long before that. So if you didn't get to go today, no worries. You will finish tomorrow. So Connor, Haley, and Logan are who is going to go tomorrow. And then we have something else we're going to do as a class. So virtual kids, thank you for coming. Everyone else, you have it doesn't say on your thing. But anyways, we only have about 1 minute left in class. Thank you for participating. Bye, virtual friends. What do you need? You need to find someone to go with you.